When my daughter-in-law, Lisa, stood at my door and told me it was time for me to leave, I didn't cry. I thought I would. I had spent so many nights practicing what I would say, how I would beg, how I would remind her of all the things I had done. But when the moment came, I just smiled. I smiled because I finally understood something. I understood that sometimes love doesn't look like holding on. Sometimes the strongest kind of love looks like letting go. And in that moment, standing in the doorway of the house that held my son's laughter and my grandbaby's first steps, I felt a strange kind of peace. It was a quiet peace, the kind you feel after a long storm. I nodded and I said, "Okay, sweetheart, I'll start packing." The look on her face, I will never forget it. It wasn't triumph. It was confusion, maybe even a little fear, because she had prepared herself for a fight. But I had no fight left. I only had love. And sometimes, love has to walk away to prove it's still there. I want to tell you my story, not so you will feel sorry for me, but so you will understand. My name is Clara, and I am 73 years old. I have lived in this small town, in this little blue house on Maple Street for 46 years. My husband, Robert, he picked out this house. He said the porch was perfect for sitting and watching the world go by. He brought me here as a bride, young and full of ideas about the future. I was a nurse then, a surgical nurse. I worked long, hard hours, but I loved it. Robert worked at the lumber yard. We were simple people. Our life was not grand, but it was ours. We had one son, Benjamin, our miracle baby, we called him. It took us 7 years to have him, 7 years of prayers and appointments and quiet tears. When he was placed in my arms, I remember thinking, this is it. This is the love they write songs about. I poured everything into Benjamin. I worked nights so I could be home with him during the day. I packed his lunches. I sewed his Halloween costumes. I was the mom who sat in the front row at every school play. I was proud of him. So proud. He was a good boy, quiet, thoughtful, just like his daddy. Robert passed away 10 years ago. A heart attack. It was fast. One minute he was there, laughing at something on the television, and the next he was gone. The silence in this house after that was deafening. For a while, I didn't know what to do with myself. The house felt too big. The days felt too long. I would walk into his workshop in the garage and just stand there, smelling the wood and the oil, trying to feel close to him. That's when Benjamin stepped in. He had been living in the city, working as an architect. He came home for the funeral and saw me there, lost in the middle of the living room. He said, "Mom, you can't stay here alone." But I couldn't leave. This house was Robert. It was Benjamin's childhood. It was all I had left of our life. So Benjamin made a choice. He moved back. He found a job at a local firm and he moved into his old room. I was so happy. It felt like a second chance. I had my boy back. The silence in the house filled up again with the sound of his music, the clinking of his coffee cup in the morning, his footsteps on the stairs. A year later, he met Lisa. She was a teacher, 3rd grade. She was sharp, organized, and very pretty. I liked her immediately. She had a strong handshake, and she looked at my son like he was the only person in the room. I thought, this is perfect. God is giving me my family back. They got married in our backyard under the big oak tree. I helped with everything. I made the flower arrangements from my own garden. I paid for the caterer. I wanted to give them a beautiful start. After the wedding, they moved in with me to save money for a house of their own. I was thrilled. The little blue house was full again. I could hear life in every room. For a while, it was wonderful. Lisa was kind to me. She would sit with me on the porch in the evenings and tell me about her students. She called me Mom from the very first day. I felt like I had a daughter. When she found out she was pregnant, I cried harder than I did at my own wedding. I told her, "I'll help with everything, you just rest." And I meant it. I did everything I could. I cooked every meal. I cleaned the whole house. I wanted her to feel safe and loved, the way I felt when I was pregnant with Benjamin. Then little Lily was born. Oh, Lily. She had Benjamin's eyes and Lisa's smile. Holding her was like holding a piece of heaven. I retired from nursing to help care for her. I told Lisa, "You go back to work, sweetheart. I've got this. I've raised one. I can raise another." And for a while, it worked. It worked beautifully. I would watch Lily all day, and when Benjamin and Lisa came home, a hot dinner was on the table. I felt useful. I felt needed. I felt like I was right where I was supposed to be. But looking back, I see it now. I see the little cracks starting to form. Things I didn't notice at the time. Small things. It started with the kitchen. The kitchen had always been my domain. My mother's recipes, my pots, my way of doing things. Lisa liked to cook too, but she had her own ideas. Healthier ideas, she called them. One day, she came home with a basket of organic vegetables and said, "Mom, I thought I'd make dinner tonight, a new recipe I found." I said, "Oh, sure, honey. I'll just get out of your way." I sat in the living room, but I could hear her in there. She was moving my things. I had a little jar on the counter where I kept my wooden spoons, right next to the stove. She moved it to the other side. She put my cast iron skillet in the cabinet under the sink. I walked in to get a glass of water, and I saw her looking at my spice rack with a little frown. "This is a bit of a mess, isn't it?" she said, laughing a little. "It's organized by how often I use them," I said, pointing. "Cumin for the chili, basil for the Sunday sauce." She just smiled and said, "Okay." But the next day, I found them all alphabetized. Cumin was next to curry powder. Basil was in the B's. I stood there for a long minute just looking at it. It felt like someone had rearranged my brain. I didn't say anything. I told myself it was silly. It's just spices. It's just a skillet. She's just trying to make it her home too. I told myself to be gracious. But then it was the living room. She didn't like the big armchair Robert used to sit in. It was old, the fabric was faded, but it was his. She said it didn't match the new throw pillows she bought. One day, I came home from taking Lily to the park and it was gone. In its place was a sleek, modern chair made of some kind of white fabric. "Don't you love it, Mom?" she said, her eyes bright. "I found it at a consignment shop. It really opens up the room." I looked at the empty space where Robert's chair used to be. Where did the old one go?" I asked, my voice small. "Oh." I had Benjamin take it to the curb. It was trash day. Trash day, my husband's chair. The one he sat in to read the paper, the one he held Lily in for the first time. Trash. I felt a cold knot form in my stomach. I went to my room and I closed the door. I sat on the edge of my bed and I cried. Not for the chair, but for what the chair meant. It meant that this wasn't my home anymore. Benjamin came to check on me later. He looked tired. "Mom, you okay? Lisa said you seemed upset." I wanted to tell him, I wanted to say, "She threw your father's chair away." But I saw his face. I saw how happy he was with Lisa, how happy he was with Lily. I didn't want to be the problem. I didn't want to be the mother-in-law who complains, so I swallowed it down. No, I'm fine," I said. "Just a little tired. The chair, it was time. It was old." He smiled with relief and gave me a hug. "Thanks, Mom. You're the best." I started to feel like a guest in my own home. I started to shrink myself. I would stay in my room more often. I would wait until they went to work before I came out to make my breakfast. I would clean the house, but I was afraid to move anything back to where I wanted it. I was walking on eggshells. The real change, though, was with Lily. When Lily was about 3, Lisa started to question how I was raising her. "Mom, please don't give her juice," she would say. "It has too much sugar." Or, "Can you not let her watch that cartoon? The colors are too overstimulating." I understood, I really did. She was a teacher, she read all the parenting books. I was just a nurse from a different generation. I tried to follow her rules. I wrote them down on a little notepad. No sugar, no screen time. Organic snacks. Nap at exactly 1:15. But one day, I gave Lily a cookie. It was a simple oatmeal cookie I had made from scratch, the same recipe my grandmother used. Lily had helped me stir the dough. She was so proud. When Lisa came home, Lily ran to her, crumbs all over her face, and said, "Look, Mommy, me and Grandma made cookies." The look on Lisa's face, it wasn't anger. It was disappointment. She looked at me, then at Lily, then back at me. "Mom, we talked about this," she said, her voice tight. "I told you, no processed sugar." "It's not processed, honey," I tried to explain. "It's just oatmeal, a little butter, a little brown sugar. It's a treat." She shook her head. "It's a boundary, and it's being crossed." She took Lily by the hand and led her to the bathroom to wash her face. I stood alone in the kitchen, holding the plate of cookies, feeling like I had done something wrong. I had just wanted to share a happy moment with my granddaughter. I had just wanted to be a grandma. The tension grew. It was never loud. We never shouted. It was quiet. It was in the silences at the dinner table. It was in the way Lisa would take Lily from my arms when I was holding her a little too long. It was in the way Benjamin stopped looking at me when he came home, his eyes going straight to Lisa first to see what kind of mood she was in. I knew he was stuck in the middle. I knew it was hard for him, so I tried to be easier. I tried to be smaller. I tried to disappear. Then came the night that changed everything. It was Lily's 5th birthday. I had been planning for weeks. I bought her a beautiful dollhouse, a big one, with little wooden furniture. I had saved up for it for months from my small pension. I set it up in the living room the night before with a big pink bow on it. I was so excited to see her face. The party was small, just family. Lisa's parents were there, Benjamin's cousins. It was nice. Lily opened her presents. She loved the dollhouse. She screamed with joy and threw her arms around my neck. "Thank you, Grandma, I love it." I felt like my heart would burst. Later, when everyone had left and Lily was asleep, I was in the kitchen cleaning up. Lisa came in with a cup of tea. "It was a nice day," I said, hopping to bridge the gap. "She really loved the dollhouse." Lisa nodded slowly. She was looking at me, but not really at me. "It was very generous, Mom," she said. "But it's big. It takes up a lot of space in the living room." "We can move it to her room," I said quickly. "I'll do it tomorrow." She shook her head. "Her room doesn't have space either. You know, we've been thinking, the house is getting crowded. Lily needs her own space, a yard to play in that's not shared." I felt my stomach drop. I knew what was coming. I had felt it coming for a long time, like a storm you can smell in the air before you see the clouds. "We've been looking at houses," she continued, her voice low. "We found a cute one a few streets over. It has 3 bedrooms, a nice backyard. We're going to put in an offer." She paused, and then she said the words that changed everything. "And we think it's time for you to think about your next chapter too. Maybe a smaller place, an apartment, or a place where you can have more support." A place with more support. I knew what that meant. She meant a home, a senior living facility. I looked at her, and in that moment, I didn't see my daughter-in-law. I saw a woman who had a vision for her life, for her family, and I was no longer a part of that vision. I was a piece of furniture that didn't match anymore. I was the old armchair on the curb. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in my bed, in the room I had shared with Robert, and I listened to the old house settle around me. The creaks and groans that had once felt like a comfort now felt like a farewell. I thought about all the things I had done. The thousands of meals I had cooked in that kitchen. The floors I had scrubbed on my hands and knees. The nights I had stayed up with Benjamin when he had a fever. The years of saving every penny so we could afford this place. I had given everything to this house, to this family. And now, it was being taken away, not with a fight, but with a quiet conversation over dirty dishes. I thought about fighting. I thought about saying, "This is my house, it's in my name. Robert left it to me. If anyone is leaving, it's you." The words were right there on the tip of my tongue. They would have been true, but what would that have accomplished? I would be a 73-year-old woman living alone in a big, empty house, with a son who didn't speak to me and a granddaughter I would never see. Winning the house meant losing my family. And what good is a house without the people you love in it? The next morning, I got up early. I made coffee. I sat at the kitchen table, the one where we had all eaten together for so many years. I waited. Benjamin came down first. He looked tired. He saw me sitting there and he froze for a second, like a kid caught sneaking in late. He knew Lisa had talked to me. He came over and sat down. He didn't look at me. He just stared at his coffee mug. "Mom," he started, his voice rough, "about last night." "It's okay, Benjamin," I said. "I understand." He looked up surprised. "You do?" "I do," I said. "You have a family now. You need your own space. I've been in the way, I know that." He shook his head, but it was a weak shake. "You haven't been in the way, Mom. It's just we need to do this for Lily." "Of course," I said. "Lily comes first. She always should." I paused. "I've been thinking I have a little money saved. I can find an apartment, a small one. Maybe one of those senior communities, like you said. They have activities. It might be nice." He reached across the table and took my hand. His hand was so big now, so much bigger than it was when he was a little boy. "We're not going to just leave you alone, Mom. We'll visit. We'll come for Sunday dinners." I smiled. "I know you will." Later that morning, Lisa came down. She was dressed for work, her hair perfect, her posture straight. She walked into the kitchen with her tablet, ready to plan her day. She looked at me, waiting, and that's when it happened. That's when I made my choice. I stood up from the table. I walked over to her. I didn't have any anger in me. I didn't have any fight. All I had was a quiet, heavy sadness. I looked at her, this woman who had become such a big part of my life, and I realized something. She wasn't trying to be cruel. She was just trying to build her own life, and I had been a part of it for too long. I had overstayed my welcome, and it wasn't her fault. It was mine. I had tried so hard to be needed, that I had forgotten to be wanted. I took a deep breath. I put my hands in the pockets of my cardigan and I smiled. Not a fake smile, a real one. A tired, gentle, understanding smile. When my daughter-in-law told me to leave, I smiled instead of crying. I said, my voice quiet. She looked at me startled. Mom, it's not like that. We're not just throwing you out. I know, I said. I know, sweetheart. And I want you to know I'm not angry, I'm grateful. You gave me 5 more years with my son. You gave me my granddaughter. You gave me a family again when I thought I had lost everything. And for that, I will always love you. Her face changed. The hard, organized mask she wore started to crack. Her eyes got shiny. Mom, I'll start packing, I said. I'll find a nice little place. And you 3, you go and be happy. You go and make your home. That's all I ever wanted for you, for all of you. I turned away then. I went back to my room. I closed the door and I leaned against it. My heart was pounding, but my mind was clear. I had chosen them. I had chosen their happiness over my own comfort. And as I stood there, I felt Robert's presence. I felt him saying, "That's my girl. That's the woman I married." The days that followed were strange. There was a new kind of peace in the house. Lisa was quieter around me, but it was a different kind of quiet. It wasn't the silence of tension. It was the silence of respect. She started helping me pack. She wrapped my china in newspaper carefully and she asked me about each piece. "Where did you get this one, Mom?" "Oh, that was my mother's. She gave it to me when Benjamin was born." She listened, really listened. It was as if, by letting her go, I had finally allowed her to see me. I found a small apartment. It was in a complex called The Meadows. It wasn't a fancy place, but it was clean and it was safe. It had 1 bedroom, a little kitchen, and a window that looked out onto a courtyard with a bird feeder. When I first walked in, it felt so empty, so quiet. I stood in the middle of the living room and I thought, this is my life now, a small room in a building full of strangers. Moving day was hard. Benjamin and a couple of his friends came to help. Lisa stayed with Lily. As they carried out my boxes, I walked through the blue house one last time. I went into Lily's room. There was a faint scent of her baby lotion still in the air. I touched the little painted handprints she had made on a piece of paper, taped to the wall. I went into the kitchen. I ran my hand over the counter where I had taught Benjamin to make pancakes. I stood in the doorway of the living room and looked at the empty space where Robert's armchair used to be. I wasn't sad anymore. I was just remembering, saying goodbye. Benjamin came to find me. He had tears in his eyes. "Mom, are you sure about this? You don't have to go. We can figure something else out." I put my hand on his cheek, the same way I did when he was a little boy who had fallen off his bike. "No, honey," I said. "This is right. You have your own family now. You need to be the man of your own house. I'm proud of you. So proud. Now, let's go. Don't want to keep Lily waiting." The first few weeks in the apartment were lonely. I won't pretend they were. I would wake up in the morning and for a moment, I would forget where I was. I would reach for my coffee cup and realize it was in a different cabinet. I would sit by the window and watch the birds at the feeder, and I would think about the sound of Lily's laughter echoing in the backyard. But then something started to happen, a slow, quiet change. The first Sunday after we moved, Benjamin and Lisa and Lily came to visit. They brought a pot roast that Lisa had made. It was good. We ate at my small kitchen table, the 4 of us squeezed together. Lily sat on my lap and told me about her new ballet class. She showed me her plie. I clapped for her. The apartment, which had felt so empty, suddenly felt full. It felt like a home. And Lisa looked at me differently. When she was leaving, she hugged me. A real hug, not the quick, polite hugs she used to give me. She held on for a moment and she whispered, "Thank you, Mom, for everything, for being so gracious." That was the beginning. They started coming every Sunday. It became our tradition. I would make a simple meal or they would bring something. And in my little apartment, without the pressure of sharing a roof, something beautiful began to grow. Respect. Genuine, honest respect. One afternoon, Lisa came alone. Lily was with a friend and Benjamin was working. She brought a box. She set it on my coffee table. "I found this in the attic," she said, a little sheepish. "I'm sorry, it must have been packed away." I opened the box. It was the old, faded fabric from Robert's armchair. She had kept it. She hadn't thrown it away. "I had it cleaned," she said, her voice soft. "I thought maybe you could use it for something, a pillow or a quilt." I ran my fingers over the worn corduroy. I could see Robert's hand resting on the arm. I could see Lily as a baby, curled up in it. I looked at Lisa and I felt my heart open. "Thank you," I said. "This means more than you know." She sat down next to me on the couch. She looked at her hands. "I was wrong, Mom," she said. "I was so focused on creating my perfect little family, on having things my way, that I forgot you were part of it. I forgot that you are the reason I have Benjamin, that you are the reason Lily has the kindest grandmother in the world. I treated you like a problem to be solved, and you were never a problem. You were a gift, and I'm sorry." I took her hand. Her hand was soft like a teacher's hand. "Lisa, you were young, you were building your nest. I remember that feeling. You want everything just so, I understand. And you know what? We got there. In the end, we got there. That's what matters." We sat in silence for a while, the old fabric between us. It was a good silence, a healing silence. It has been 3 years now since I moved to the meadows. I have a little garden plot in the back where I grow tomatoes and basil. I have friends here. We play cards on Tuesday nights. I am not lonely. I am part of a community. And my family is stronger than it ever was. Sunday dinners are sacred. Lisa and I cook together now, in my little kitchen. She still alphabetizes my spices, but I just smile and let her. It doesn't matter where the cumin is. What matters is that we are together. Lily is 8 now. She still sits on my lap, though she's getting too big for it. She reads me her books from school, and I listen, and I think about how she is the best story I have ever been a part of. Benjamin calls me every evening just to say goodnight, just like he did when he was a little boy away at college. He tells me about his day, and I tell him about mine. Our conversations are simple, but they are the anchor of my days. Sometimes, when I am alone in my apartment at night, I think about that moment at the door, the moment I chose to smile instead of cry. And I realize now that it was the strongest moment of my life. It is easy to hold on. It is easy to fight. It is easy to demand what you think you deserve. But the bravest thing, the most loving thing, is sometimes to let go. To trust that the love you built, the foundation you laid, is strong enough to survive the change. I lost a house, but I gained a family. I lost a role, but I gained a relationship. I am not the woman in the big kitchen anymore. I am the woman in the small apartment with the big heart, waiting for her family to come home on Sunday. My life is not the one I planned. It's smaller, it's simpler, but it is full. It is full of quiet moments of forgiveness, of a love that chose to bend instead of break. I am Clara. I am 76 years old, and I am still learning. I am learning that home is not a place. It is not a house with a blue door or a big oak tree. Home is the people who hold your hand. Home is the ones who come back. Home is the love that you give away, and that finds its way back to you, softer and sweeter than before. So if you are standing at a door today, afraid of what's on the other side, I want you to remember something. You have a choice. You can hold on so tight that you crush what you love, or you can open your hands and let it go and trust that what is meant to stay will. And sometimes in letting go, you find that you are not losing anything at all. You are just making room for something new, something truer, something that was there all along, waiting for you to see it. Thank you for listening to my story. It's just a small story from a small woman in a small apartment. But I hope it reminds you that there is strength in softness, and that the greatest love stories are not the ones that end, but the ones that choose to begin again.